Once upon a time, there's a beautiful and cheerful girl named Lucy. She lives a wonderful life. She teaches children drawing, loves spending time with friends. Unfortunately, a terrible tragedy crossed everything out after a head injury. She wakes up every day not remembering everything on that day and to repeat her daily life over and over again. Everyone thought she can no longer have a normal life by starting a family until Lucy met Henry. On the Paradise Islands of Hawaii, Henry enjoys a playboy life with the girls. He loves working with animals at the water park and have plans to visit Alaska soon for holiday. Henry never thinks of having a family and settle down. One day he comes to a diner and sees this beautiful girl on a pink t-shirt which attracts his attention as she sits alone at a table and she constructs a waffle house on her plate. It's impossible to take Henry's eyes off the stranger. He loves watching over her. All day long, Henry thinks about the girl in the pink t-shirt. He can't stop thinking about her and this has never happened to him before. The next day Henry decides to find her in the same diner. Here she sits at the same table with her pink t-shirt making Waffle House again. Henry tried to talk to her and she invited him to have breakfast together. Lucy is a girl who lives on the island where she teaches children how to draw and loves to build waffle on her plates. A casual conversation is taking place between Henry and Lucy, and they are having a good time. They hit it off right away. As it would seem to Henry, they have known each other for quite some time now. There is no doubt that Henry really likes Lucy. Then the next day, Henry goes out on a date with an attractive girl. She is trying to seduce Henry but Henry can't seems to stop thinking about Lucy. Her image keeps coming before his eyes. From then on, he knew he has to get to find Lucy again. The next day, he returns to the diner and Lucy sits at the same table. Henry greets Lucy and tries to start a conversation but she acted like she never met him before. Lucy is outraged thinking some guy is trying to pretend to be her friend. Henry is confused with her behavior until one of the waitress at the diner takes Henry to the side and starts explaining to him about a year ago Lucy had a terrible accident and received a head injury. Lucy has a damaged part of her brain which causes her to have a short-term memory. She can only remembers everything that happened before her accident, but not everything that happens after the injury. It's as if her day is erased from her memory after a night's sleep. In the morning, it is like Sunday for her. Every morning she eats waffles for breakfast, goes to the store with her father for lunch, and every evening she celebrates her dad's birthday, watches the same football match then starts painting in her dad's garage before going to sleep. Henry is shocked with her condition and confused how a girl could live in ignorance for so long, but everyone on the island loves Lucy very much, and they do their best to support her and her family. Meanwhile, goes home to celebrate her father's birthday. They eat cake again, watch the same football match, and gift the birthday boy with the same gifts they gave her. Then paints her father's garage after dinner and when Lucy is asleep, her father and brother paint over the walls for the 100th time so that tomorrow Lucy can repeat her days again. In Lucy's family, they are tired of this life, but apart from them, the girl has no one to care for her. In the evening, Henry talks about Lucy's illness with his eccentric friend Eula which he advises him to just go for it. Trying to convince Henry that it's the jackpot, the ideal girl for an easy relationship and can end things right away without explaining her anything. Henry disagrees with his friend, because he really likes Lucy very much. Henry decides to follow his heart. He then comes to the diner every morning and tries to start a conversation with Lucy, but the poor guy gets rejected all the time, and the diner staff place bets on how many more rejections he can endure. One day, Henry pretends to cry to get Lucy's attention. With pity she asks Henry to sit with her at her table. Not long after they are having fun again and Henry is fascinated by Lucy. After she returns home, Henry follows her. He meets Lucy's father, who is upset that his daughter has a boyfriend and Lucy is not the girl capable of having a relationship. Lucy's father demands that Henry not to come to the diner anymore. Sadly Henry agrees. He desperately wants to date her, but Henry has promised her father not to go to the diner anymore. But he didn't promise not to see Lucy outside the diner. Henry decides to find Lucy every day. He arranges a chance meeting with Lucy on the road. Either his car breaks down or there isn't enough gas or robbers attack him. Who knew that Lucy handled the bat so deftly and ran excellently? Poor Ula who pretends to be a robber and got beat by Lucy. While Henry is waiting for Lucy on the road, Lucy's father drives up and invites Henry to visit. In fact, the father is touched by the perseverance of Henry. Maybe this guy isn't such an idiot. Henry visits Lucy. Her relatives show how she paints the garage walls. Every day, Lucy sings the same song while painting. Henry asks how long they intend to deceive Lucy. Not realizing that one day, The girl wakes up and notices she's 10 years older. How will they explain that to her? Lucy's relatives know that this can't continue forever, but they can't constantly inform their daughter the accident and illness every day. The next day Henry drives to the diner to meet Lucy. She immediately notices a policeman nearby her car, who writes a ticket for an expired date. A year before the inspection, the girl was outraged. She thought she just got it recently. Lucy notices the date and starts to wonder. She starts checking the newspaper for dates. Realizing that something strange is going on, Lucy rushes home and Henry follows her. Her family tells her about accident and amnesia. She can't accept the terrible reality and wants to talk to a doctor. Lucy has spoken to his doctor many times but cannot recall them. There are no signs of improvement, says the doctor. Henry brings her home and Lucy asks Henry to talk to her about lilies the next time he finds her, because it's her favorite flowers. Lucy's father invites Henry to have a beer with him. Lucy's family liked this cheerful, persistent guy if he didn't run away from her and didn't take advantage of her illness. Then he must truly like her. Henry tells her father that it's not good to lie to Lucy all the time and it is important to find a way to tell Lucy about her illness every day. Henry steals Lucy's diary from her car to try to look for signs. The next day Henry comes back with a bouquet of white lilies. He hands her a tape. As Lucy watches the video in a few minutes, she learns everything that has happened to her over the past year. She is impressed with the video, but she especially likes the love and humor which Henry recorded it. Lucy and Henry spend the day together. Lucy takes him to see her friends in the evening. The couple walks on the evening beach. This is one of the best days they've ever had. Lucy asks Henry if he loves her. Henry doesn't just love Lucy, he loves her to the point of losing his memory. Then they kiss. Their first kiss is insanely sweet. Henry and Lucy begin dating. Whenever the girl watches the tape, she falls in love with him again. In one evening, they visit Henry's workplace, where he arranges a romantic date for Lucy and sings a song he composed himself. Lucy is delighted with the guy, and they spend the night together. Henry asks Lucy if she will marry him and she says yes. Then in the morning when Lucy finds a stranger in her bed, Lucy starts screaming and hit Henry with a bat. Then later she is given the tape that Henry made. Lucy watches the tape as Henry is knocked down by an accurate blow from a stick. She overhears Henry and her family talking. Henry says he's putting off scientific research in Alaska. He can't leave Lucy for long. Henry is so sure that she is about to begin to remember him. Her father does not share the boy's enthusiasm, and he should not expect the impossible. His daughter will never be able to live like an ordinary life. When Lucy listens, she realizes she has become a burden for her family. In the afternoon, Lucy comes to work with Henry, and she is holding her diary and there are many notes about Henry. She decides to break up with Henry. Lucy asked him to rewrite her diary. She wanted to erase all memories of Henry. Lucy doesn't want Henry to suffer the same way as her family. Henry must make a career, get married, and have children. He can't do that with Lucy. Although Henry is hurt by Lucy's decision, he can't force her to continue their relationship. When they rewrite her diary in the evening, Henry says goodbye to Lucy and she asks for their last first kiss. Henry's heart breaks when Lucy forgets him overnight, but it's not so easy for him to move on. The only girl he truly loved. Time passes. Henri is preparing for a trip to Alaska. Lucy comes to the reserve but doesn't seem to recognize him. Their breakup hurt Henry, but he realizes it's for the best. The day has come when Henry must go on his trip. Lucy's father and brother also came to say goodbye. Lucy's father gave Henry a tape of her favorite song, which she constantly sings at the institute. Henry then sets sail and turns on the cassette. This song makes him cry, remembering Lucy singing it while painting the walls of her father's garage. She sang as she painted the walls every day when they were together. Suddenly Henry realizes that has been remembering him. Henry turns the yacht around. He rushes to the institute to find Lucy. He asks her if she knows his name, but she doesn't. Lucy doesn't remember Henry, but she invites him to her workshop. Henry's portraits hang on the walls of the workshop. Lucy sees dreams about him. She is so confused how she can draw a person she has never met. They restart their relationship again. This is a miracle that only true love can make this happen. Henry will never let go of his beloved. Lucy wakes up in an unfamiliar room. A cassette lies near her with a note that says, "Watch me." She turns on the video. She doesn't remember many events on record. She even got married. Then Henry in the video asks Lucy to put on her jacket and to have breakfast. Lucy is surprised that she is on a boat at Alaska. She looks around and realizes she is on a yacht with glaciers on deck. Her husband, daughter, and father are waiting for her. She started a family and went on a trip despite her illness. Henry's love and perseverance made it possible. It's another fantastic day. Henry will win his wife over again every day, and it's time for Lucy to fall in love with her husband again too. They have a long, happy life ahead of them. The end.